Welcome to the Optical Communication uh, Engineering lecture series for the BExTC. In the last lecture, we have studied different applications of optical fiber communication, the structure of optical fiber communication, and in this lecture, we will study about the basics of light so that it will be required for us to understand how the light will work as a communication purpose. The base communication, the history of communication, that is time progress, the frequency carrier increases in a continued fashion over last 1 century. And around middle of the century, the carrier frequencies were the range of microwave or millimeter wave. In each of large bandwidth, the optical window was explored, and then we look for the media which can are available for transmitting light over the long distance. And also we have seen different comparisons between the different frequencies or transmission media like coaxial cable and twisted pair cable and satellite communication. Satellite communication, optical fiber communication are complementary in nature. So, whatever we can achieve with the satellite communication cannot be achieved with optical communication, and vice versa. So, we have to conclude that two technologies, the optical fiber communication and satellite communication technology, have to coexist because they have complementary nature. We are we have to see that initially when the testing on material glass was made for the attenuation, it was found that after a first purification, the loss in a glass was about 20 dB per kilometer. We have seen in the last lecture, and we have seen that the time that although the loss was not very low, this loss was very comparable to alternatives which were available for time that coaxial cable, however, since then the technology has certainly work on purifying the glass, and the result loss in a glass that's come down significantly. So today we are going to see what about the different structure of history of attenuation. In 1970, you had a profile of a loss on function of a wavelength, which has something like that, where there was a low attenuation region somewhere around 800 nanometer. You can see in this figure. Wavelength which was something like that. So there was a low attenuation region around the 800 nanometer or 0.8 micro wavelength, or you are converting that 800 nanometer into the 0.8 micrometer wavelength. And when the testing was going on, the sometime we mentioned the lasers were invented, and the semiconducting material which was most studied for the emission of light was gallium arsenide. So we'll see the different materials for the purpose of communication. And gallium arsenide, we will see later in this course, is intensively capable of emitting a wavelength which is around zero point 0.8 microns. So that it fact this was a great combination that we had the loss profile which had a minimum around 800 nanometer wavelength, and also we have the source available which were based on a gallium arsenide. They were capable of emitting a light of 800 nanometer. So this combination of gallium arsenide based device and the low loss region of glass made for the optical communication possible around 1970. This is the region now we call as the first window of optical communication. So in the figure you can see that 800 nanometer. But also see the attenuation also, how much attenuation is there in this figure. Set up the that optical communication started. Most of the communication was set up with the window which is around 800 nanometer in, or 0.8 micrometer. As the time progresses, then the glass was purified. Further, you can see, and then the last profile now is modified to something like this. The first thing to note here is there is no window which has a minimum around 800 nanometer. So the window low loss has now in around either 1300 nanometer or 1550 nanometer. I have mentioned in the last lecture also, there are three windows: 800, 1300 and 1550 nanometer, where the attenuation very large. So one can say that by the time we came to about 1980s, the loss profile was something like means there means there are two windows for separation. One was around 1300 nanometer and one was 1550 nanometer. As soon as this was realized and its time, even the material technology has imposed significantly, so you could identify the material which could give emission of light in any window of the range. So we could develop the source which could emit light around 1300 nanometer or 1550 nanometer. So the optical transmission was shifted from 800 nanometer to 1300 nanometer later on. We will see that the 1300 nanometer is a very special window, because not only this window, the loss is low, but the window can support high data rates. That means the window has a very large bandwidth. Well, the 1550 nanometer window has a loss which is little smaller compared to the loss of 1300 nanometer. You can see in the figure comparison between 1300 and 1550 nanometer window, the loss compared to the 1300 nanometer. If we give the number here, the loss will be about 0.2 dB per kilometer at 1550 nanometer. At at of that 1300 nanometer, loss is typically in order of 0.4 dB per kilometer, and at 800 nanometer the loss typically are around about 3 dB per kilometer. So 3 dB or 4 dB per kilometer. So you can see the difference between the three windows. In these three windows, that 800 nanometer having the highest loss, and for the 1300 and 1550 nanometer having the lower loss, that is 0.2 dB or 0.4 dB per kilometer. So comparatively to the 4 dB per kilometer, it is very small. So 800 nanometer to 1300 nanometer, we had significant improvement in the loss performance, and that the reason, as I mentioned, the window of operation was shifted from 80s, from 800 nanometer to 1300 nanometer. Later on, even the difference of 0.2 dB kilometer per kilometer between 1300 nanometer to 1500 nanometer was becoming significant. We wanted to decrease that because the distance were becoming very large. So later on, the window was shifted from 1300 nanometer to the 1500 nanometer. So in the last window, you can see this last window. In that 1800 nanometer, we have shifted 1500 nanometer, we have shifted to uh, this point, so that the loss should be less. The 30 nanometer window, which was dominant in 80s and maybe 90s, this we refer to the second window of operation, and the 1500 nanometer, 1550 nanometer window is we call as a third window of operation. So if you look to optical communication today, most of the optical communication takes place around 1550 nanometer. And later on we will see some other advantages of the optical, because we could have now optical amplification possible in 1550 nanometer window. So when we have a very long distance communication, you can even have periodic amplifiers installed, which can uh, amplify the signal without converting into the electronics. So these are the certain advantages which essentially made this window of 1550 nanometer very interesting and applicable window, and that is the reason most of the modern communication takes place in the window of 1550 nanometer. Now we will see some advantages of the optical fiber communication. Although we have studied that of optical fiber communications advantages, still we have to elaborate it in the larger perspective, so that we will understand the importance of the optical fiber communication. In this, two advantage which you are in the, I have highlighted are the ultra high bandwidth. So I mentioned, if I look at this loss profile, bandwidth which is typically of the order of 15 to 16 nanometer. Here the awesome, in the time 50 to 60 nanometer, here you have bandwidth of typically hundreds of gigahertz, which is available this window, which is a so just if I define the bandwidth on the basics of loss of performance, then we have a huge window around 1300 nanometer. We got a huge bandwidth around 1550 nanometer. And again, we have seen that the frequency range around terahertz. Also, we saw that if I got to the wavelength which order of 1300 nanometer, or 1500 nanometer, then the loss is as low as 0.2 dB per kilometer. So we have mentioned in the beginning of the good high quality communication, you require a high signal to noise ratio, or low loss in the system, and a large bandwidth and typical communication. Uh, and typical com- and for typical communication give you essential both very large bandwidth also. So very loss, in fact, of compare this 0.2 dB per kilometer with the other alternatives, you will see that there is no medium today which can compete with a small loss in the medium like coaxial cable or any other structure. We saw in a loss which is much higher, and the cost of the bandwidth is very limited. So in the coaxial cable, you can see the bandwidth required is very less. In bandwidth they have given is very less. So in this optical communication, we are getting a bandwidth up to the terahertz, ultra high bandwidth, and low loss 0.2 dB per kilometer for the 50 nanometer range. For the lower range, it was higher, but for a higher range, that 1550 nanometer, we have 0.2 dB per kilometer. In the Advantage of the next optical fiber communication advantage is the low EMI. So you have very low electromagnetic interference. Uh, when you transmit a signal in optical form, one can ask a very basic question at the stage that light is also in an electromagnetic wave. So is special about this when we increase the frequency from kilohertz to megahertz as to gigahertz. As the frequency increases, there was a more and more electromagnetic interference. So that we have studied in electromagnetic engineering. So what has suddenly changed when we increase the frequencies is still further from microwave to the optical frequency, which is about three orders of magnitude higher. So one can ask if I have a coupling between the different components when we scale the coupling takes place between the electromagnetic fields, or what distance we have the electromagnetic interference. So typically you see that the electromagnetic interference strong if you have a distance which is compatible to the wavelength. So when we operate at a microwave frequencies, the wavelength are typically of order of few tens of centimeters. So, as a typical electromagnetic circuit, there is a coupling between the different components because the separation between the components is compatible to the wavelength. When you go to the frequency like optical frequencies, where the wavelength now has a become typically in order of 1 micrometer, you will see electromagnetic interference uh, of you think a component within a distance of 1 micron. So if you have a distance which much higher, larger compared to the 1 micron, then there is a no coupling between these components, and that is what precisely you are talking about. That this one is give you a very high EMI performance because of the distance which we talk are much larger compared to the wavelength of operation of optical frequencies. The next advantage which we have, uh, the security of the transmission light is, we have seen that the security is more primary importance for the optical fiber communication. When the signal is put into the medium like optical fiber, the signal cannot be tapped from the outside. That was not if I had medium like a medium of light. It was, let us say that twisted pair. If the twisted pair is there, most of the electromagnetic fields and outside without the physical touching. These cables we can always put some coupling devices and which can couple the fields of the twisted pair, and these fields can now give you the information which is flowing onto the twisted pair. Since no light leaks from the optical fiber at least on an ideal condition, then there is a no possibility of a tapping the data or information which is flowing inside the optical fiber. So it gives you the high security of a transmission. Later on, we will see will that the statement has to taken with the little caution because of this is very ideal situation. As soon as you can go to the practical systems where the fiber is deformed, and so on the it's always a leakage of information which can tapped in the next which can be tapped. So it can be not happening with the optical fiber communication. Next advantage of optical communication is low manufacturing cost. So there is, if you look at the cost of primary in the in the technology is the material processing. The missing material, which is a glass, is typically feel it is a silica, and as we had discussed in the last lecture, silica is very abundant in the nature of. So if you are asked where the cost is the material cost is practically zero, the cost of technology for the purifying the glass and then making the glass in the form of optical fiber. So that makes some cost for the optical fiber communication. The metal used is a copper, which is very expensive material. The most of the cost goes into the metal, where is an optical fiber. The most of the cost is only technology and the material cost practically zero. Also, you should be statement in a little different compared to the cost of optical fiber with the coaxial cable per kilometer. Maybe the cost will be very comparable. If you ask what is the cost per voice channel flowing on the optical fiber and then cost per voice channel flowing on coaxial cable, since the optical fiber can carry the voice channel which could be 1,000 times more than a coaxial cable, then the cost of the voice channel will be a 1,000th of cost of the coaxial cable. So even if the cost of the kilometer of these two are uh, comparable, the cost per voice channel would be much smaller for the optical. So that is that if where we have a significant advantage, there is in the course it will be. Next is uh, low weight, low manufacturing. We have completed low manufacturing cost. Next is low weight, low volume. So low weight, low volume is that will be a you can see the glass we are using as a glass as a optical fiber communication medium. For that purpose, we have a very low weight for the uh, material because silica is the material. So weight of that optical fiber is very less. Then volume is also very less as compared to the other parameters. Point to point communication. So in a point to point communication, satellite communication is a broadcasting medium. You can transmit the information from one point to the multi points, where as in case of optical communication, since it is a wired communication, the point information can go only from one point to the another point. However, at least in urban areas where you have now a good network of optical fiber, practically every house in the city can be reached by optical fiber. So the technology intrinsically is a point to point technology. You can use it like broadcasting things because the fiber is practically reaching at every home, at least inside the city. So then uh, we have seen the many applications more advantage compared to the any other mode of communication. uh, Not only the a large bandwidth and a loss, but if you give you many other features also which are very attractive. Thus, what precisely is the reason why optical communication technology grew rapidly in 30 to 40 years? In fact, every 10 years there has been a completely revolutionary change in the optical communication technology. In the next lecture, we will see some characteristics of the light. So we'll start with the characteristics of the light, how refractive index will vary for the different material. So that we'll see in the next lecture. So put your questions into the chat box, or you can message me on my personal number so we can solve more doubts uh, online. So thank you for the today's lecture, and put your name into the chat box for the attendance. Thank you.